Hello and welcome to WCAT Chats, where we explore the stories of people in our Westminster community and beyond. I'm your host today, Izzy Winarsky, here with a very special guest, the one and only Miah Spencer.
Hi.
Thank you for coming on today. We're super excited to have you.
No, of course, of course. I'm excited to have a conversation with you, chat about hoops, chat about a little bit about my experiences. So I'm excited.
Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun. So, just going to start off with some background on Maya. She grew up in Toccoa, Georgia, and she transferred at the end of her freshman year to Columbia High School in Decatur, Georgia, where she won two state championships and was also the 2012 Gatorade Player of the Year before she committed to NC State, where she had a remarkable 4-year career with the Wolfpack. That was highlighted by becoming the 12th all time on the scoring list with 1,585 points, number 1 in all-time free throws made, and number 4 all-time in career assists. And finally, a cool statistic that we're definitely going to get into, she never missed a game in her entire career, which is an insane stat. And then Maya ended up playing for the Phoenix Mercury and went overseas to Poland, Greece, Turkey, and Ireland before she returned to Atlanta, where she has been staying busy with many things, where she's an author for her book, A Heart That Still Beats, an entrepreneur, and an assistant coach for our own varsity girls basketball team. So
Mhm.
definitely have a lot to talk about. She's an awesome person, really cool person. So first, the
Yes.
thing that I just think is incredible is that you never missed a game in your entire college career.
Mhm.
What went into having that statistic? Was it something that was a goal of yours? Was it just it happened, or do you have a something that went into that?
I mean, I think the biggest thing, of course, it's a goal. Like, I love to hoop. I love to
Yeah.
play basketball. So, of course, like, I always want to be on the floor, not only for myself, but like for my teammates, my coaches, and of course, the university and just like what I was representing. Um, and I would really just give all of the credit to high school, like
Mhm.
preparing, having a great strength coach in high school, having great coaches in high school that prepared my body to play and to be healthy to play that long, that many minutes every game. Like, it really set me apart in a way. One of my trainers now, he always says that availability is the best of ability. And so for me, just being available was kind of like
Mhm.
the biggest thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, um, but I really credit it to just high school, like being prepared at an early age really allowed me to have the longevity that I had in my career.
Mhm.
Mm.
Do you think that when you're coaching now at
Mhm.
the high school level, that's something that is really one of your bigger priorities and something that you try to put into your girls as well?
Oh, no, yeah, absolutely. I encourage them all the time. Like, okay, we got to be in the weight room because that's
Mhm.
where it starts. Like,
Yes.
you have to be able to prepare your body for the long season because basketball is probably like one of the longest seasons out of
Definitely.
all sports, right? And so you really have to take the time to make sure that you're in the weight room, getting proper sleep, making sure that you are doing a good job with taking care of your nutrition,
Mhm.
things of that sort. And so, yeah, they'll tell you like when they're in the weight room, I'm in there with them, making sure that their form is right, making sure that they're taking it serious and all those type of ways. But I definitely encourage them to take care of their bodies so we can have a good long season, no injuries,
Mhm.
no knick-knack, injuries or anything like that. And so I definitely encourage them just because it's something that I experienced and it allowed me to actually enjoy the game because nobody wants to sit on the bench
Mhm.
because of an injury. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
for me, I definitely encourage them to take their body serious, take their sleep serious, make sure you're getting hydrated and make sure you're eating before practice. Like I feel like that's kind of like my role and I've adopted it and just kind of I go full force with it
Mhm.
because availability is the best of
Mhm.
ability. And so I definitely try to enforce that with our girls now.
Definitely. And I know you lead stretching before games and
Mhm.
before practice.
Mhm.
Is there anything that you like really like any parts of the body that you're like, we really need to stretch, or is it just kind of like this is what's worked for me, or is there a
Mhm.
certain method that goes into that routine?
Yeah, no, I think, being at a high level, at a school like NC State and then
Mhm.
going to play pros, like, you learn things as an athlete that help you with your longevity, and so for me, taking care of your knees, your
Mhm.
ankles, make sure we're taking care of our quads and our hamstrings and make sure we have good ankle mobility, like, those are things that are really important. I'm actually learning a lot from our new strength coach here
Mhm.
that just got here, and I've even implemented some things that he does that I've seen him do with the girls, and I've implemented into our new stretch routine
Mhm.
or pregame routine or pre-practice routine that will also help elevate them as they play. So I definitely take that part of practice like extremely
Yeah.
serious. Like make sure we get a good stretch in because once we get into practice, like we're rolling, we're running, like you want to make sure that your body is ready for that type of movement and that type of impact.
For sure, and I think a lot of the girls have definitely seen a bigger difference, and they're not having to stop practice to let me
Stretch.
go roll out or something like
Hmm.
that, like, it's all before
Yeah,
practice, which
absolutely.
definitely makes a more efficient
Yeah,
practice,
yeah.
and I think the one thing that you said was how key availability is,
Hmm.
especially at the higher level, and
Hmm.
I think that translated to how you were a captain your sophomore year at NC State.
Hmm.
Do you think there are any other, like, unique qualities other than just being incredibly available that really set you apart, or, like, what was that experience like?
Um, You know what? I would say that I was surprised that I got voted
Mhm,
captain that early, but I also believe, like, as soon as I stepped foot on NC State campus, like, I was a sponge. Like, we had 6 or 7 seniors. I think it was 6. We had 6 seniors my freshman year.
mhm,
And so for me, it was just like, let me watch and see how, this whole college experience
mhm,
is. I'm a freshman coming from a really good team in high school to another, like, not just one person is good on the team, like, there's literally from player 1 to player 12 or 15, like, they're all really good players, so how can I separate myself? And the biggest thing for me was just leading by example, like, making sure I was always on time, making sure that if we ran sprints, I was first in the
mhm,
sprints, making sure if we're in the weight room, like, making sure I'm talking, making sure I'm pushing myself. So I think for me, it was just more of I'm a more lead by example type of
mhm,
leader. I'm not a huge vocal leader. Like I'm not
yeah,
yeah, like I prefer just to lead by example. Like if
mhm,
you see me doing the work, if you see me staying after practice and getting extra shots, like that's gonna motivate you to do the same thing. So I
mhm,
think for me it was just more of just like leading by example and just taking it serious. Like I wasn't a big party girl in
yeah,
college or anything like that. Like I was more like just truly blessed for the opportunity. I come from a very, very small town. So, like, for me to even make it to the level that I made it to, like, I wanted to make sure that I capitalized on that.
mhm,
Um, and so for me, it was just like I took it very serious. Like
mhm,
class, study hall, basketball. Like that, those are my three pillars. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was just leading by example. And so when I was voted captain as a sophomore, it was I think it was just more of a testament of just, like, the respect that my teammates because your team votes for you,
yeah,
not like, the coaches have some type of say so, but it's really, like, they ask the team to vote, "Who do you think the captains should be?" So for them to vote for me, and I've only been there for 1 year, I think it kinda just shows the respect that they have for me.
mhm,
Um I wouldn't say the admiration, but just, like, seeing that I was willing to come in and work as hard as I did and do anything for the team, like, it didn't matter if I started or not, but I was able to contribute in any type of way, and as a basketball player, as a teammate, like, you respect that, so
mhm,
that was the biggest thing for me.
for sure, and I think we can see that, like, as a coach also, I think,
Mhm,
coming in last year, I could tell, like, within the first few days, players were already coming up asking questions, and so definitely something that we appreciate, at Westminster.
thank you.
So, I know you were talking about that, like, 6 senior class. Was
Mhm,
there anyone from that, like, those girls that really, like, you learned the most from, or was it, I know you got coached by Wes Moore, who's obviously a
mhm,
legend in terms of
absolutely.
the, women's college basketball
Mhm,
scene.
mhm,
Was there a certain lesson from any one of them or Wes
mhm.
Moore that you think really has stuck with you?
Yeah, so I had 2 really great seniors that kinda just took me under their wings. One of them, her name was Maisha,
Mhm,
Goodwin, and then the other one was Keisha Gatlin. Um, 2 totally different position. Keisha Gatlin was a post player who ended up getting drafted top 10
mhm,
after her senior year. Maisha was a small guard, so we kinda, like, connected on that. But I think for me, like, they just showed me how to be, like, a true professional in the college space. You know what I'm saying? Like, they taught me how to, be on time.
mhm,
They taught me how to just be myself, like, have my own personality, don't be a follower, like, truly just be, like, your own individual self because that's who they truly were, like, they showed up every day as themselves, and so just learning from them just allowed me to kinda just walk in my own lane, my own path at NC State because I didn't know what to expect, like,
mhm,
I knew NC State I knew about it, but I didn't know the magnitude that came with, like, NC State, Duke, North Carolina, like, it's all a triangle right there, so I didn't understand the real magnitude of it until I got around them, and so they just taught me how to be a professional.
mhm.
And then, of course, Wes Moore, like, he is a legend in the game
Yeah,
of women's basketball or just, men's and women's basketball, at that, but, kinda the same thing, just, like, his preparation for the games is something that I have never seen, and I
Mhm.
still haven't seen it. Like, his preparation for our games was literally unmatched. And
Yeah.
so what I learned from him is just like preparation, when the opportunity meets your preparation, you're gonna succeed, and
Mhm.
I think that that showed in a lot of a case, especially, his first year at NC State was my first year at NC
Really?
State as well,
I didn't
yeah.
know that. That's awesome.
So, he actually was recruiting me to go to UTC Chattanooga, that's where he was
Awesome.
before, where
Yeah.
he won, like, 11 or 12
Mhm.
conferences in a row or whatever it is, but he was recruiting me very hard to go to UTC. I ended up committing to NC State. NC State coach at the time was Kelly Harper. She was the coach at
Yeah.
at Tennessee as well. She ended up getting fired. I was like, well, maybe I should just go somewhere else. Like, da, da, da. Literally, maybe 2 days after she gets fired, he calls me and tells me that he got the job. And so it kind of just worked out because I already knew
Yeah,
like
that's
he
awesome.
wanted me to play for him. And so it just worked out. But from, like, our freshman year to the season that we had my senior year, it just
Mhm.
shows, like, the preparation. It's not gonna happen in 1 year, it's not gonna happen in 2 years. It's the preparation over time that when that opportunity finally meets you and you take advantage of it, good things are gonna come from it.
Yeah. I think it definitely is, like, a lot of patience, like,
Mhm.
letting it you don't
Yeah.
have to be of course you wanna be, but you
Mhm.
don't have to be the best team in
Mhm.
the nation your
Mhm.
first year,
Yeah.
especially with a new coach, and I mean, the girls' basketball team is also going through that with Coach Ritchie going
Mhm.
his 2nd year and, like, the improvement from year 1 to year
Yeah.
2, and, like, it's only gonna go
Yeah, and
upwards.
surprisingly, my freshman year, we were actually top 10 in the country.
Yeah.
We were actually top 10 in the country my freshman year, and it was a great experience, like, the it was just a great experience overall, but also just, like, being a top 10 team in the country, it comes with a lot, but it also comes with, like it comes with a lot, like, on the downside, but it also comes with a lot with, like, the perks and
Yeah,
things that you
I'm
get to
sure.
experience and the people that you get to meet, the
Mhm.
places that you get to go, so, like, for me, it's very similar, right? My first year here at Westminster, like, we went well, from what I've been told, it was kinda like a white and black type of
Yeah,
transformation, like,
definitely.
not saying that they were terrible, but
No.
from just the culture standpoint of, like, how we've been able to come in and just set a new standard, for women's basketball, for girls basketball here at Westminster, like, it's something that I've kind of already experienced, and so now it's just something that, like, we just gotta continue to build on it, and I know good things are gonna come from it.
Yeah, definitely, and I think, like, that kind of culture was the biggest thing,
Mhm.
and I mean, I played a little bit with the girls, and I definitely felt like the shift in, like, "Wait a second, this isn't just like
Mhm.
a, 'Oh, let's all go play basketball.'" It
Right.
was like,
Mhm.
"Let's all go play
Yeah,
basketball," and, like,
absolutely.
that energy, I think more girls wanted to play
Yeah.
basketball, and it wasn't like a that type of thing, so,
Yeah.
um and so I also think the culture, I wanna talk about that a little bit and,
Okay.
like, that energy.
Mhm.
So, I wanna talk about training camp for the WNBA 'cause
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
so, you went undrafted,
Mhm.
and then you got so, you went undrafted, and so, just for those who don't know, in the WNBA, there's 16 to 18 players that are on a training camp
Yep. Mhm.
roster before they have to cut it down to 12 roster
Right.
spots, so
Mhm.
a big difference between the WNBA and the NBA is that opportunity is that there's not that many spots for the
It's
WNBA,
really, really slim.
and they have more people coming to those training camp rosters and whatever, so
Absolutely. Mhm.
what was that initial transition in, like, that, like, roller coaster of going from being undrafted to ending up signing with the Mercury? And I also wanna talk about how at that training camp, there was stars like Diana Taurasi,
Mhm.
Brittany Griner, more
Mhm.
names. What was that, like, transition like, especially with kind of being in the same presence and competing with
Mhm.
those
Well, I
players?
never really talked about my draft day. My draft day was an emotional roller coaster.
Mhm,
I was on the board to be drafted by the Connecticut Sun at the
mhm.
time. Everything looked great. The pick was coming up, and I'm like, "Oh wow, my dreams are like
Here we
coming true.
go,
Like this is
yeah.
so crazy." However, it didn't end up happening for some reason. And so like as soon as the draft ended, like I was kind of like distraught. I'm like, wow, like I was right there and it didn't happen for me.
Mhm.
But I kid you not, maybe like an hour later, they're like, "You're on a team, like, it's okay, calm down."
Yeah.
I'm just like, "Well, why they didn't
Yeah.
draft me?" Like, but I mean, my everyone's journey is different. And I still was going into the opportunity to just give my all. Cause I
Mhm,
mean, I've been wanting to be a professional basketball player. That wasn't always my dream, but it was something that I wanted to
mhm.
accomplish because at that point you're in the 1%,
Yeah.
right? Because out of everyone in that plays college basketball that wants to play on a professional level is very hard to get there.
Mhm.
like extremely hard. Like you really have to sacrifice, you really have to set your priorities and, do things that other people don't want to do to make sure that you get to that
Mhm.
level. So when I made it there, it was definitely a transition, but I've always feel like I've been prepared wherever I go, right?
Mhm.
And I think one thing that really helped me was being coached by Wes Moore
Mhm.
and then also being coached by Gene Hill. He
Mhm.
was my position
Yep.
coach at NC State. So they prepared me for the next level. So the transition was different because I will say the style of play in the pros versus
Mhm.
college is
Yeah.
extremely different. You know what I'm saying? Like you go from yes, you have good players on your team in college, but now we get to the pros where you have great players. It's
Mhm.
not just good players. Like these are professional basketball players. Like 1 through 12 are great players
Yeah.
and they can go anywhere and be a star. So it was that type of adjustment, but I always go in with like an open mind like, okay, how can I learn in the situation? How can I become a better person, but also how can I become a better basketball player and teammate? And so for me, being able to learn from the vets that were already there was just like mind blowing because I wore number 3,
Yeah.
right? Because of Allen Iverson, that's my favorite
Okay.
player. But also like growing up, like Candace Parker,
Mhm.
Diana Taurasi, like those are players that I actually love watching on the female side. So to actually be in the same vicinity, in the same gym, and
Yeah.
running up and down the court with someone of her caliber, it was wild to me.
Yeah.
I was like, "Wow, this is really my life." Like, wow. But I just learned so much from her as a professional, not
Yeah.
even just like as a professional basketball player. Like love to tell people, like I'm not just a professional basketball player. I feel like I'm just a professional
Mhm.
human in general. Like I've
Yeah.
been around
Definitely.
the best of the best, and so for me, I picked up on how to carry myself. I picked up on how to communicate. I picked
Mhm.
up on how to build relationships with people. Things that translated from basketball to real life are the things that I learned from him and I
Mhm.
kind of picked up. Now on the basketball side, it was definitely a transition. Like I said, like the game of basketball and how it's played in college versus like how it's played in the pros are two different things. So did I have a learning curve? Absolutely. But I also had really great vets that were able to help transition me. That
Mhm.
way when my opportunity came, I took advantage of it. And
Yeah.
so for me, it was a great opportunity. It was a great experience. I'm all about living and just like having amazing
Mhm.
experiences. And like that's an experience that I will like never forget. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like Diana Taurasi, Brittany Griner, like these are people that hold space
Yeah.
in the WNBA forever. And so for me to be able to just experience them and not only them, like Danielle Robinson, she was
Yeah.
like one of my point
Mhm.
guards as well. Leilani Mitchell, like
Mhm.
it was good to just learn from those type of players and really just be able to maximize the time that I did have with them because like you said, it's very hard to make a roster. Did I
Yeah.
deserve to be on the team? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? Was I a rookie and they already had vets that's been playing for years and years that may have more experience than me? Yeah. And so that's when my route kind of changed where they were just telling me like we really love you, we want to keep you, but we don't have the spots and
Yeah.
that's okay. Like it has nothing to do with your game, it has nothing to do with your ability to play. You just need to go get more experience. And so that's when my transition overseas. I went to Poland, played overseas in Poland for 9 months. And that's a whole experience within
Yeah.
itself. But overall, the experience of playing in the WNBA was great.
Mhm.
It wasn't what I expected. Um, but overall, like the relationships and just learning from true professionals, like that's what's gonna stay with me for the rest of my life.
Mhm. I think that's something that's, like, really unique about the WNBA is how these women, of course, they're professionals, like, on the
Mhm.
court, but,
Mhm.
like, they come off the court and they're all super successful, and, like,
Mhm.
I mean, that's honestly what comes with being
Mhm.
in the WNBA
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that
yeah.
there's sacrifices in itself of, like,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
obviously, it's not the highest
Mhm.
paying or whatever, and, like, you're putting yourself in the position to, like you're just graduating college and, like,
Mhm.
"I'm gonna go do this," and, like,
Mhm.
sacrifice all of that,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
for sure. Do you think with, like, playing with Diana and, like you said, she taught you a lot, but, like, was there a kind of welcome to the WNBA moment or something that, like,
Hmm.
being in that gym that you were like, "Okay, wait," like, brought you down from that initial, like, "Here I am"?
Okay, so I would say that okay, so I was blessed to be in a great position with the Phoenix Mercury
Mhm.
because they share the same facility with the Phoenix Sun, right?
Mhm.
Which means that we got top of the
Yeah.
line everything.
Uh-huh.
So I think for me, just walking into that and just seeing like, oh wow, we have a really great arena that we get to
Yeah.
play in every night. And every night we get, training staff is top of the line. Our facilities are
Mhm.
top of the line. So just being able to experience that and share that with the Phoenix Suns, like that was kinda like, "Wow, mama, I made it."
Yeah.
And then, of course, just, like, being in the same vicinity as, like, one of the greatest of all time,
Yeah.
like, that within itself was a welcome to the WNBA. I didn't even
Yeah.
have to step on the floor, make any shots. It was
Yeah.
just being in that vicinity with her and the coaching staff and
Mhm.
the GM at the time, like, it was just being in the presence of that. I was
Yeah.
just like, "Wow, like, I'm in the WNBA."
Yeah.
Getting all the nice gear
Yeah.
and all the practice gear and all it was just one of those experiences. It was just like, wow, like I said, I'm in the 1%. And
Yeah.
like I remember when I was very young, I was at a basketball camp and I
Mhm.
can't remember who she was, but we had a WNBA player come speak at the camp and it probably had to be like 200 girls at the
Yeah.
camp. And I remember her saying she was just like, I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. Out of everybody that's here, and she looked around, she was like, I want y'all to look around. So I'm like looking,
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, there's a lot of us here. She was like, maybe one of you will make it. Maybe 2. On a good day, maybe 2 of you will make it to the WNBA, and I'm over here like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
that's such a small
Yeah.
percentage, like, what does it take to be that 1 or 2?"
Yeah.
And
And
the
it's like
fact that I was that 1
1
or
or 2.
2, like, it still kinda blows my mind, but it
Mhm.
just is a testament to just, like, I have to give myself a lot of grace because
Mhm.
what a lot of people see my success I don't see it that way. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because I was actually in the shoes, like, I was getting the shots up, I
Yeah.
was going doing extra things, like, people just see what came from the journey that it took
For sure.
to actually make it to that point and to be in the 1%, like, I look at the journey, like, the journey was hard, like, even, like, when I got to college, my grandmother passed away going into
Mhm.
my senior year, so for me, like, having to, kinda lead a team while also grieving
Yeah.
a death of someone that was very close to me and that believed in me from the beginning, like, it was definitely a transition, but overall, like, the journey is what was the highlight of it all. Like,
Yeah.
making it there was great, but, like, understanding that it was my effort, like,
Mhm.
truly, it was on me to do it, like, nobody else like, "Izzy, you can't go get shots up for me."
Yeah.
Like, my mom can't go get shots up for me, like, my brother
Mhm.
like, it truly was on me, and granted, I had a great support system, great coaching staffs that allowed
Mhm.
me to be myself, but, like, I really had to give myself my flowers, like, "Wow, like, you
Yeah.
really made it."
Yeah.
And so just being in the vicinity of all those great players um, and stuff like that was just like, wow, like, I made it.
Yeah. For sure. And I mean, I think, like, one thing that's kind of, like, been on, like, the national stage has been the growth of, like, not
Absolutely.
just
Mhm.
the WNBA and all of that, but, like, just, like, women's basketball and, like, women's sports in general, and, like, even Diana has, like, talked about it, and she's
Yeah.
like, "I don't even like, this is what we've all worked for." I think that, like, community effort and, like, I mean, we just saw, like, Caitlin Clark just, like, launch this new shoe, like,
Yeah.
we go
Yeah.
into the gym and there's, like, all these girls and they're all wearing all these different jerseys, and, like,
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger, people were like, "Oh, you wanna, like, go be on varsity?" Like, "Yay," like,
Mhm.
whatever, but it wasn't, like, that big of a deal, and I think, like,
Mhm.
that stage, like, Paige Beckers, like, all these
Mhm.
players are, like,
Mhm.
going, like, crazy viral and all of that stuff,
Yeah.
and, like, I mean, the one moment that I thought was really special the other day that I saw was Damian Lillard brought his daughter
Mhm.
to, the Portland, their new team. They
Mhm.
just, in the WNBA's expansion just lost in like, he brought his, like, daughter to the game and stuff, like, do you think that there's something that has gone into this, like, growth, or is it just kind of, like, what's happened throughout the time or
I mean, I truly believe it's just the consistency
Mhm.
of building something, like, the NBA has been
Yeah,
around for a very long
very
time. The
long time.
WNBA has been around for, like, this
Yeah.
long. So I think it's just, like, the consistency over time and making sure that they have a great product to put out,
Mhm.
but I also have to give credit to social media.
Yeah, for sure.
Visibility is everything, being able to see the visibility of Caitlin Clark, of Angel
Yeah.
Reese, of Paige Beckers, of like, of all of these Sarah
Mhm.
Strong, like, all of these great players, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like it really started with the college players, like, being able to
Definitely.
showcase the talent in that Final Four that we had with Angel Reese and
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark and with Dawn Staley and what she's doing in South Carolina, like, those are huge moments where those fans are able to not only support the college game, but now they wanna follow those players and take it
Mhm.
to the pros,
Yeah.
right? And so I think the visibility um, of social media has increased, what's the word? Like, the curiosity
Yeah,
of
for
the
sure.
WNBA, and I think that it's in a great spot right now. I love the fact that it has been able to, you know, bring more teams, bring more fans around. So I think the expansion has been great, and I
Yeah,
think that it will continue to expand because there's so many great players
yeah,
that don't make a team just because there's not enough room.
there's not
And
enough
so they
spots.
have to go play overseas. They have to, go that route instead of being in the WNBA, which overseas, no, not to overseas.
Yeah,
Overseas is great. Like, you get to experience different cultures. You
yeah,
get to experience different people, make relationships with people overseas, different food. Like, you get to see so much that, like, that was probably my favorite part
yeah,
about being a pro, was being able to experience Poland, being able to experience Greece and Ireland. Like, Ireland is like one of my favorite places.
yeah.
So, like, being able to experience that was great as well. However, do I wish I was able to stay in the States and make a roster and play in front of my family, play in front of my friends,
Mhm.
like, have them be able to come to the game? Absolutely. So I love the expansion. I love the fact they even, I think they just changed the
From 50
games
games, yeah, to
to
44.
exactly. So I think that that's something that will continue to evolve, continue to grow. But the consistency of the WNBA has been great. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, from the very start with Lisa Leslie, like, with all of the
Mhm.
greats, Shamika Holsclaw?
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah.
that. I forgot. Excuse me, girl, you're great. But just like having all of those greats is like their work paid off for us to be able to have the
For
experiences
sure.
that we're having now. But it's just consistency and visibility.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, like, I think what you were saying about where it's starting in college, like, I
Mhm.
remember sitting on the couch watching Angel Reese and
Mhm.
Caitlin Clark going at it and, like,
Absolutely, and that's so
whatever.
good for the
Yeah,
game.
and then
Yeah.
the next year, once Caitlin got drafted, like,
Mhm.
or when she decided to stay and, like, there was the whole thing with, like, the NIL, which we can have a whole 'nother
Whew,
5
yes.
podcasts on, but, like, I remember, she got drafted by the Fever, and they were
Mhm.
coming to Atlanta,
Mhm.
and they had to play in State Farm, and it was
Mhm.
sold out. The
Mhm.
tickets were, like, more than Hawks games, and
Yeah.
I remember my parents walking in, and they were like, "This is crazy." Like,
Yeah.
we used to be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, let's go to a dream game," like,
Yeah.
whatever, and
Yeah.
all that stuff, and, like, I think, like, that transition where you've consistently had, like, the college level be
Mhm.
insane, and, like,
Mhm.
we watch these tournaments, and it's, like, one team after another, like, you
Yeah.
can go down the line, and it's,
Yep.
like,
Yep.
these players are insane, and, like,
Mhm.
UConn, all of that,
Yeah.
like, we
Yeah.
can have a whole 'nother podcast on this past year, but definitely, yeah, and I think something that, I thought was really cool was when you spoke at the, Women's in Sports Day, this
Mm.
past year.
What an honor. Oh my gosh, what an honor.
That was really cool to see, and I think a
Yeah.
lot of, like, the crowd, it wasn't just girls, and I
Yeah.
think that
Yeah.
was, like, awesome to see.
Mhm.
Is there something, like, that you think from all of your experiences starting from high school, college, pro, overseas, is there something that you like, one lesson or something that, like, you hope to leave with those kids and just in general about, like, your journey or, I think, like, one thing I really admire is, like, your motivation to always, like,
Mhm.
keep doing something and, like, be the best person you can possibly be. Is there something that like, a piece of advice that has been, like, something you've left on your players and all those
Mhm.
people that were in attendance or just in general?
I think the biggest thing for me that I am truly walking in now is just like, don't hold on to just one identity.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I'm Maya, the basketball player.
yeah.
And that's it. Like, and that's what everyone knew me from. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was just like, and as I transition out of being a professional basketball player to now like being a coach and doing all these other things outside of sports, it's like I've come to the realization that I am actually more than that.
Yeah,
I'm more than just a basketball player. I'm more than just someone who puts on a jersey and performs for people.
yeah,
Um, the biggest thing is just, find out who you are just as an individual and not as someone who attaches a title to it. Like, one of my friends, he has this name where he was like, I had a name before I played sports, or I had a
yeah,
name before
yeah,
the game.
uh-huh,
You know what I'm saying? And so for me, it's just like, I really have to, I'm learning to walk into that.
mhm,
Like, I was somebody before I put on a jersey at Columbia or NC State or Phoenix Mercury, or I
yeah,
was somebody before that, and I want to learn who that person is.
mhm,
So if I could leave anything with the younger generation, it's just like truly learn who you are
yeah,
outside of your sport. Because we can't play sports until we're 50 and 60 and 70. Like,
mhm,
LeBron is like the
yeah.
exception right now. Like, LeBron is playing. He's probably gonna play until he's I
Oh
don't
my
know how
gosh,
long.
like
But, like, he's kind of the exception. You're not gonna play sports that long, so I think
yeah.
the biggest thing, the lesson that I've learned as I've transitioned out of sports is just like, man, I wish I would've did a lot of other things
Yeah.
outside of it. Granted, I'm really grateful for my discipline and all the things that I learned by committing to one thing. I love that.
Mhm.
But there's also parts of me that I'm learning like, "Oh, man, like, I really wish I would've tried other things so I would know, like, what else do
Yeah.
I like? What else am I good at?" So
Mhm.
that would kinda just be the biggest thing is just, like, don't attach your identity to just being an athlete.
For
Like,
sure.
you're definitely way more than that. You're way more valuable than
Mhm.
just being someone who goes out and performs for your parents, for your team, for your coaches. Like, you're more than just an athlete. And I really want athletes to really know that
Mhm.
and really believe in that. So when you're at this young age, experience things, go places with your friends, like do other things out. And I have to look in the camera when I say this because do things outside of just being an athlete. Like life is so much bigger, so much more than just being an athlete. So that would be the biggest thing. Is just like you're more than your identity of being an athlete.
For sure. I think that's a great way to wrap this up,
Yes.
but, yeah, for sure, and I think that's something that, like, Westminster really brings is that,
Mhm.
like, a lot of schools, it's like, "Oh, I got, like I'm gonna come to
Yes.
school to play basketball,"
Yes.
even at the
Mhm.
high school level, which
Right.
is
Mhm.
insane in its own, but,
Mhm.
like, we have these athletes that are, like, also, like,
Mhm.
last year on, the girls' basketball team, there was, like, 2 or 3 girls, like, that played in the orchestra and, like,
Mhm. Mhm.
all these different
Yeah.
things that
Yeah.
it's, like I think we have the opportunity, like and we're all really grateful for that opportunity to, like
Yes. Yes.
and also to play multiple sports, like,
Yes.
we have girls on our team that are multiple
3
that's
s
3
yeah,
sport
3 sport and
athletes.
I will say that's one thing that being here at Westminster granted, I just completed
Yeah,
my first year here at Westminster, but I'm a very observant person, and
yeah.
I feel like I've done a pretty good job of making myself kinda known in the
Mhm,
community by
for
just
sure.
showing up. I sub classes,
Yeah.
like, I'm a substitute. Actually, I just got a full-time job here, so that's really
Awesome.
exciting. But just
Congrats.
being here, like, the exposure that you guys have is already putting you guys ahead
Mhm,
of life in so many different ways. And I love the fact that you guys are able to experience different things and
mhm.
experience being an athlete, but also do things like this. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, I think that's so important. That way you're not stuck in just being one dimensional.
for
And
sure.
so, like, big shout out to Westminster for just preparing their
Yeah,
student athletes and just the students in general for life and being more than
mhm.
just one identity.
Yeah, for sure, and I think we've seen that, like, when players go
Mhm.
past just we have, of course normally, like, 20 kids go
Yeah,
each year to play college athletics,
that's
but it's
amazing.
like the people that go farther, you can
Mhm.
tell are
Mhm.
more than just athletes, and the people that come out of playing college athletics are,
Mhm.
like, now, like, doctors and whatever,
Mhm.
which is insane
Mhm.
and definitely a huge accomplishment, but thank you so much for coming on
Can I leave
today.
one thing?
Yes, of
Okay,
course.
I put something in my notes because
Oh,
I
yes.
read the last question you asked about motivation.
Oh, okay, let's hear
Okay.
it.
So, motivation is helpful, but it isn't something that you have to wait before you take action.
Mhm.
Most of the time, motivation follows action, not the other way around. And then
Yeah,
also, when it comes to motivation, discipline carries you on the days where motivation doesn't show up. So, rely more on your discipline than on the motivation to do something.
I love that. Thank
Yeah,
you so much for maybe we'll have to do a part 2 to this with we have so
absolutely.
much more to dive into, but thank
Yes.
you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on WCAT Chats.